In football, to strengthen their squads, besides splashing cash in the transfer market, clubs also rely on their youth academies to scout and nurture talent from a young age. Many clubs are globally famous for their youth systems: Barcelona with La Masia, Manchester United with Carrington, or Bayern Munich with, well, the other 17 teams in the Bundesliga. Among these, we absolutely have to mention the De Toekomst Academy of Ajax Amsterdam, which translates to the future. To this day, Ajax's academy remains one of the premier wonderkid factories in the world, recognized by pundits and football fans alike. However, what makes Ajax's academy truly special is that their greatest European successes have always been deeply tied to this exact youth system. This might not sound too unique at first. After all, we have the class of '92 at Man United, or the 2008 to 2012 era at Barcelona with their homegrown monsters. But Ajax succeeded with their youth generations not just once, but 3 times. Today, in the second episode of the Echoes of the Past series, I'm going to tell you the journey of each golden generation at Ajax and explain why their academy is always considered one of the most prestigious in football. Okay, let's go. And their first success came in the 1971 to 1973 generation. Ajax Amsterdam, founded in 1900, is arguably the club with the richest tradition in the land of tulips. To this day, Ajax remains in the big 3 of the Eredivisie, alongside PSV Eindhoven and Feyenoord. But for a club to truly leave a mark on the football map, it has to transcend its domestic league. In other words, if Ajax wanted to be considered a giant, they had to make noise in the Champions League, European Cup. And Ajax's first time came in 1971 with the legendary total football philosophy. This philosophy involved constant movement and high pressing all over the pitch to control space, creating numerical advantages at every hotspot to completely disorient the opponent. The late manager Rinus Michels was appointed in 1965. After bringing total football to Ajax, he transformed the team from relegation battlers into one of the most fearsome forces in all of Europe. Michels and his philosophy won the club's first European Cup in 1971, beating Panathinaikos 2-0 in the final and completing a historic treble, only the second treble in European history. Even after Michels left, Ajax continued to rule Europe under manager Stefan Kovac, who inherited the philosophy and the homegrown star-studded squad. And just 2 years after winning their first European Cup, Ajax completed a three-peat by winning it again in 1972 and 1973. The success of total football elevated the players from Ajax's academy to legendary status. They had Johan II, Johan Neeskens, a box-to-box midfielder with a perpetual engine, moving everywhere to press, win back the ball, and quickly launch attacks. A genius left winger, Piet Keizer, possessing exquisite technique and rare cunningness, acting as a deadly attacking spearhead. Arie Haan, with his thunderous long-range shots, who later proved his versatility by dropping deep to play as a sweeper. In defence, Ajax possessed Ruud Krol, considered one of the greatest defenders of all time, the prototype for a defender in the total football system, who could play anywhere from left back to sweeper, playing a crucial role in the 72 and 73 European triumphs. Alongside him was the steel wall Barry Hulshoff and Horst Blankenberg. While Hulshoff was a powerful, uncompromising centre-back, the German sweeper Blankenberg played with intelligence and was a highly reliable anchor at the back. Finally, we obviously cannot forget the heart and soul of Ajax's total football, Saint Johan Cruyff. He wasn't just an exceptional forward with supreme individual skill, he was a tactical mastermind right on the pitch. Cruyff was the perfect embodiment of this philosophy, roaming freely, drifting to the wings, or dropping deep to dictate play, creating chaos and unexpected attacking avenues. He was the conductor, controlling the tempo and inspiring his teammates. It was Cruyff who played a massive role in elevating total football into an immortal symbol. This first golden generation didn't just win prestigious trophies, they left an everlasting legacy for world football. Their philosophy deeply influenced future generations of managers and players, from Arrigo Sacchi to Pep Guardiola and modern football teams. The success of this 71 to 73 generation came to an end as key figures like Cruyff, Neeskens and Blankenberg gradually left, while Piet Keizer retired after a clash with manager Hans Krij. Ajax had to wait 22 years to return to the pinnacle of Europe, with another golden generation, the 1994/95 generation. 2 decades after Johan Cruyff's era, Ajax Amsterdam once again unveiled a legendary squad that shook European football. The 1994-1995 season witnessed the birth of the second golden generation, a young, talented collective led by the brilliant tactical mind of Louis van Gaal, reaching the absolute peak of perfection. With a squad mostly trained at the famous De Toekomst Academy, Ajax had a historic season. They didn't just win the Dutch Eredivisie unbeaten, they also conquered Europe's most prestigious stage, the UEFA Champions League. Amazingly, they did it by remaining unbeaten in both competitions, an unprecedented miracle. First, let's talk about the manager, Louis van Gaal. As a former Dutch player and coach, he absorbed the total football ideology of Rinus Michels and Johan Cruyff. He applied a flexible tactical system, usually a 3-4-3 diamond, where each player had a clear role but retained the freedom to move. Van Gaal's philosophy emphasized space control, aggressive high pressing, and rapid ball circulation. When defending, they suffocated the centre and forced opponents wide. In possession, they stretched the pitch to create gaps, patiently combining and waiting for the right moment. The 94/95 squad was a perfect blend of experience and the raw energy of the Academy Wonder Kids. You guys probably recognise a lot of these names, because they all went on to become football legends and FIFA icon cards. In goal, Edwin van der Sar, a modern goalkeeper with excellent footwork who initiated attacks and acted as a reliable sweeper behind a high defensive line. The defence, the twin brothers Frank and Ronald de Boer. Frank was a highly technical, left-footed, complete defender, while Ronald offered massive flexibility by playing in midfield and attack. The midfield, a terrifying duo. Edgar Davids, bringing fierce fighting spirit and relentless energy, combined with creativity and flair. Alongside him was Clarence Seedorf, who showed the makings of a complete, powerful and technical midfielder at just 19 years old. Fun fact, Seedorf remains the only player to lift the Champions League trophy with 3 different clubs, Ajax, Real Madrid and AC Milan. The attack, Jari Litmanen, the Finnish number 10, was the creative brain with sharp tactical vision and an incredible eye for goal. He was so good that he finished 3rd in the 1995 Ballon d'Or. On the wings, they had the terrifying speed of Mark Overmars on the left and the finesse of Finidi George on the right. The striker, Patrick Kluivert. At 18, he was Ajax's top scorer domestically and the man who scored the only goal against the mighty AC Milan in the Champions League final, bringing the prestigious cup home. Guiding these promising kids was Danny Blind, Daley Blind's dad, an intelligent sweeper and exemplary captain, along with Frank Rijkaard, who, after winning everything with AC Milan, returned to Ajax to be the veteran leader and spiritual anchor for the youngsters. With this flawless squad, Ajax showed overwhelming power. In Europe, they beat the defending champions AC Milan twice in the group stage, crushed Bayern Munich 5-2 on aggregate in the semis, and beat Milan once again in the final in Vienna. But unlike the 70s generation, this golden generation didn't last long. The introduction of the Bosman ruling in late 1995 allowed players to leave for free when their contracts expired. Ajax couldn't hold on to their stars against the massive wealth of bigger European clubs. Seedorf, Davids, Overmars, Kluivert and the De Boer brothers sequentially left, closing a brilliant chapter. Finally, let's talk about the 18/19 Ajax squad. Over 2 decades after the class of 95, Ajax Amsterdam once again mesmerised European football with a youthful, talented squad and fiery attacking football. Under the guidance of manager Erik ten Hag, they wrote a modern fairy tale. Domestically, they were totally dominant, winning their 34th Eredivisie title with 119 goals and securing the Dutch Cup to complete the double. But it was in the UEFA Champions League where this 2018-19 generation truly captured the hearts of global fans. With confident high-pressing football and silky combinations, they bypassed the continent's giants. Their run was truly breathtaking as they knocked out defending champions Real Madrid right at the Santiago Bernabeu. Just when people thought it was a fluke, they caused another earthquake by eliminating Mr. Champions League Cristiano Ronaldo and his Juventus. Experts agreed this wasn't luck. This was superior football that stunned the heavyweights. They even came agonisingly close to the Champions League final, leading Tottenham 3-0 on aggregate by half-time of the semi-final second leg. However, an absolute masterclass from Lucas Moura turned everything upside down in just 45 short minutes. In the final seconds of stoppage time, Moura completed his hat-trick and Tottenham's comeback, ending Ajax's fairy tale in the most bitter and regretful way. Though they didn't achieve the ultimate glory of their predecessors, you cannot deny the talent of this 18/19 generation. Matthijs de Ligt, the 19-year-old captain who played with incredible maturity and power. He even won the Golden Boy award that season. Frenkie de Jong, the midfield maestro with elite press resistance and passing. Barcelona bought him halfway through the season to be Sergio Busquets' heir. Donny van de Beek, an energetic box-to-box midfielder. His ability to ghost into the penalty area out of nowhere gave Ajax the lead multiple times. Hakim Ziyech, though not an academy product, this was his explosive breakout season. The Moroccan wizard with a magical left foot provided razor-sharp assists. Add in players like Andre Onana, Noussair Mazraoui and David Neres, who all had breakthrough seasons, mixed with the experience of returning veterans like Daley Blind and Dusan Tadic. However, their brilliant Champions League run put them right in the crosshairs of Europe's elite. As is the inevitable rule, this talented squad was quickly dismantled. De Jong went to Barca, De Ligt joined Juventus, and a year later, Ziyech and Van de Beek moved to Chelsea and Man United. Sadly, unlike the 95 generation who found massive success elsewhere, the 18/19 class has struggled a bit more. De Jong and De Ligt have been the most successful, but players like Ziyech, Neres and Onana haven't quite replicated their Ajax magic consistently. The saddest case is probably Donny van de Beek, who seemingly vanished from the football map after leaving. Still, the emotions this squad gave us will never fade. After the 18-19 generation, Ajax struggled to find their footing. Following the departure of key players, they maintained their status for a few years. But in the summer of 2022, chief architect Erik ten Hag left for Manchester United, and director of football Mark Overmars resigned due to a scandal, leaving a massive power and sporting vacuum. In the summer of 2023, Ajax spent over €100 million on players, but most were massive flops. The 2023/24 season started as the darkest period in the club's modern history. Ajax went into freefall, and for the first time ever, they sat at the absolute bottom of the Eredivisie in October 2023. Luckily, they showed signs of recovery, finishing 5th to secure a Europa League spot. This current season, they are playing much more stably, especially in defence, and have returned to the top of the table to compete with their rivals, PSV. Though they've regained their domestic footing, it will probably be a very long time before Ajax produces another generation that achieves what their predecessors did. And that concludes our video on the 3 golden generations of Ajax. And for now, please hit that like and subscribe button.